note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Grizzly True Crime. My name is Grizzly K, and today we're going to be looking at quite a strange case out of Missouri. So you say I live in Missouri, how did I miss this? Okay, so we'll be looking at that. Thank you so much to, oh man, I missed it now. Thank you so much PT. Thank you so much for spoiling Fury. And I missed that other sticker, I'm so sorry. Oh no. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I will check it afterwards. And thank you for being a member for 5 months. Okay, so let's have a look. I've got a presentation for you based on this case so that we can actually just get to know all the facts that we know so far. Please note that this is still an ongoing investigation. It was a missing persons case that then quickly became, according to the deceased person's brother, a homicide investigation. But I haven't yet seen a press conference or the police say anything, so we're going to keep on watching just to see what happens in this case. Very, very interesting though. Okay, so let me just put my presentation on quickly. All right, we're gonna quickly look at this. Thank you for being here. Please make sure you like the video and share it as well. You could share it as, I wonder what they're sharing it as, hashtag John Forsyth without an E at the end. Keep correcting myself there as well. No E at the end. John Forsyth. You could share that hashtag, Grizzly True Crime, and yeah, that would be great. Thank you so much. This country girl's life. Oh my word, you've been a member for 14 months. Thank you so much. And you say this case is bizarre. I think you can hear I've been down the rabbit hole. I've only just come up. Yes, you guys. I'm just like, hi. I've spent all day in this rabbit hole. I'm like, what happened here? And I've tried to watch every single interview and read everything I can because it's just so strange how this doctor disappeared, what happened, how he was found. So let's see if we can just even try to make sense of it. But there's still, of course, a lot of questions. Okay, so what happened to Dr. John Forsyth? He's a 49-year-old, he was a 49-year-old father of 8. So sometimes they say father of 7, but he had 7 children with his ex-wife, and he had 1 from a previous relationship. So that I've cleared up by looking at all the interviews, right? He worked in an emergency room at Mercy Hospital in Cassville, Missouri for the last 15 years. Julie says, was up until 4 a.m. with this one. It's bizarre. Thanks. So you know how I feel. Yes. Thank you so much. It absolutely is. It's a bizarre one. Okay. So he worked in an emergency. He was a doctor, right? ER doctor. He worked at an emergency room at Mercy Hospital in Cassville, Missouri for 15 years. He was also a entrepreneur with his brother, Richard. Richard, his brother, is the one doing pretty much all the interviews. I haven't seen any other family members doing interviews. I haven't seen the police share any information yet. So they say they are still waiting for an, formal identification of the remains, and maybe then they'll have a press conference, then we can watch it together. Grumpy Granny says this case is something else. I agree. And Magali Ordaz, welcome to membership. Let me end this poll here. I just quickly want to see, have you ever heard of this case? 43% haven't heard of it. Okay. So, he was a crypto entrepreneur with his brother, Richard. Okay. The company that he started is called OnFo. He's been involved in crypto currency since 2010. In 2020, Forbes named him a Bitcoin millionaire. Now, there's actually been a lot of Bitcoin billionaire suspicious deaths recently. Like from the end of last year, there's already 5 or so that I've seen. So that's interesting and something to keep in mind as well. Because really, we don't know what happened here. This case could go in so many directions. Denise Parker, thank you so much for your $9.99 super sticker. I really appreciate it. So in 2020, yes, Forbes named him a Bitcoin millionaire. He went missing on May 21st, 2023 in Missouri, and his body was found in Arkansas. His brother said he wouldn't miss a shift even if his eyeballs were hanging out of their sockets. It was an immediate red flag. His brother also described him as a conscientious, philanthropic math nerd. So, as I say, his brother Richard has done multiple interviews. The longest one that I've seen was on ThePascalShow. I will put a link to ThePascalShow, to that very episode, at the end in the description box. I would like for you to go check it out and then come back, rewatch this, let me know what you think. Put it all together, just let me know what you think. Keeping a very open mind on this one, especially with the Bitcoin connection and just how he went missing. It's very interesting. So, went missing May 21st, 2023 in Missouri. His body was found in Arkansas. We'll look at the map as well, right? And his brother said he wouldn't miss a shift. Even if his eyeballs were hanging out of their sockets, it was an immediate red flag. Okay, and here is a picture, 2 pictures of him as well. He last texted his new fiancé at approximately 7 a.m. on May 21st. That's the day he went missing, right? After finishing his morning shift at the hospital. So he only got engaged 3 days before he went missing. And that was just after finalizing his divorce from his first wife, the one he had the 7 kids with, right? That divorce, they say an uncontested divorce settlement was issued on May 11th, 2023, and his ex was awarded $19,000 per month in alimony and child support. So there were a lot of theories already flying around from when Dr. Forsyth went missing, that like, could this be too much for him? Could he have made himself disappear and all that? But possibly not. I can't say anything definitive because we just don't know. Yeah, $19K a month in alimony, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. Okay, so, but I mean, there were 7 kids, right? Surveillance footage showed him, this is interesting. So his brother said that surveillance footage showed him walking to his luxury RV. So there's 2 cars that you got to keep in mind here. Well, there's a few, but let's say his cars, right? The doctor's cars. One is actually his RV that he parks at this Mercy hospital and sleeps in when he has, for example, a morning shift, and then he has an evening shift. Then in the afternoon, he'll be in his RV. It's pretty smart. Park it there. You don't have to drive up and down home. So surveillance footage shows him walking to his luxury RV, why do I want to say RV, where he stayed in the hospital parking lot during his shifts. He was last seen wearing a black shirt and fitted gray blue pants or jeans. Then, his brother said his car was last seen on surveillance. Now, this was an Infiniti Sedan, is what that car was called. So he's got the RV, and then he's got an Infiniti Sedan. This Infiniti Sedan was last seen on surveillance at 7:12 a.m. in the area where it was found abandoned. And I'll show you a picture of that as well. Then, his brother said, a white SUV arrives in the area 3 minutes later. It appears that someone who looked like John got out of his vehicle, walked around for a bit, and left. Now, when his brother was on the Pascal show, Pascal asked him, oh, so he wasn't forced into the vehicle, he got into the vehicle, but he didn't correct him then. But the thing is, if you listen to all the interviews, it isn't said that he got into the white vehicle. It's actually said that at 7:12 a.m., the Infiniti Sedan arrives in this random area, which is actually near the Cassville Aquatic Center, okay? This Infiniti Sedan arrives there. 3 minutes later, there's a white SUV that comes and is close to the car or parks next to him, and then leaves within 3 minutes. Then, 12 minutes or so later, is what his brother said, you could see on very grainy surveillance footage, he said it's not good footage, but you could see someone who looks like his brother get out of the car, walk around for a bit, and then leave. So that's interesting too, you know? Wow. Okay. I hope you're following along so far. Maybe we should do Maptime so we could actually see it. I just want to show you this. So this is the picture of how his car was found. And again, not the RV. That's at the hospital, okay? This is the Infiniti Sedan. So it was abandoned and kind of near a yard site. And it's at the end of the road near that Cassville Aquatic Center. So that's also interesting. I'm going to keep going, then we'll look at the map and then it should make sense, okay? His wallet, driver's license, credit cards, passport, okay, checkbook, work briefcase, and car keys, meaning the key to this car, the key to the RV was also in this car. They were all of this stuff was found in this car. And his RV was found unlocked at the hospital, which his brother said was very uncharacteristic of him. Which is quite odd, because if you think about it then, it's not like, okay, I'm going to lock up my RV and I'm going to take a drive to meet someone and something went wrong there. I mean, something could have gone wrong there. I'm just saying, it's almost as if whatever happened started already at the hospital, because, I mean, he left it unlocked with very important stuff in the RV as well. So that's very interesting. Soybean says, brother also said he worked 80 hours as an ER nurse, so no time. Yeah, exactly. No time for side chicks is what he said, yes. Judy says, I don't understand what you're saying at all. How did he leave after walking around? That's why we have so many questions. I have about 100 questions at least of like, sorry, what now? So he saw it. So he's seen on someone who looks like him, even though the footage isn't good. He's seen getting out of the car, walking around, and leaving. Now, let me switch to Maptime so that we could do that. Then we'll come back to this presentation. How about that? Sorry if that echoed. I think it did. Okay, so wait. Now we're going to put on the map time so that we can look at it and understand. Just at least, just to have this in your mind of just where did all this happen, right? Okay, so if we go to the Mercy Hospital in Cassville, okay, we're here. Here's the Mercy Hospital in Cassville, and Dr. Forsyth, John Forsyth, would park his RV here, so that he could nap there, basically. It's for nap time, right? Because he worked so many hours. Then, they said, on surveillance, he was seen walking towards his RV after finishing his morning shift. But then my question is, was he ever seen... If surveillance footage can see him walking towards the RV, is the RV parked in a place where you then can't see what happened? See, there's so many questions. We just don't know. But later... his RV was found there, unlocked, with valuables inside. And then his car, an Infiniti Sedan, was found near this, they actually said Cassville Aquatic Center, which is down here. Here's the Cassville Aquatic Center. The reason I put this other point on the map, this Cassville Greenway Trailhead, is because the news stations were all standing there filming everything. But if we go to this Cassville Aquatic Center, it's actually all the way down this road, where the car was parked. And in that car was his driver's license, his wallet, the keys to the RV and to this car, the briefcase, and all this stuff. It was just there. Isn't that so weird? Okay. And then, that was on May 21st. And then only 2 days ago was his body discovered 28 miles away around this lodge, Lost Bridge South Park area. So you could see it's like campground loop, but they said across the water from the ramp. So I'm not too sure if across is this way or if it's this way or which way across the water from the ramp. It looks more like, I would say this looks more like a ramp, right? So it's probably this way. That's pretty interesting. And it appeared that he had a gunshot wound. So, again, the police are saying they are still investigating. There's been no press conferences, and they're still doing the autopsy so that there can be a formal identification, right? Caroline says, one wild guess would be that somebody figured the hospital workers have loads of meds in their luxury RV and figured they hit the jackpot. Yeah. So he was found. If you missed that, his body was found in an area where he didn't frequent, where he didn't go. It's just so odd, you know? So I just quickly want to show you this. Wait, where's that article? No, wait. This one. Sorry, that's very bright. But this one has some interesting information in it, little bits, just as he went missing. They say Missouri police are investigating a slew of new leads in the mysterious disappearance of emergency room doctor John Forsythe, his brother told the Washington Post on Tuesday. According to Richard Forsythe, his family received 3 potential leads from the public and passed the information on to cops in the hopes that it will help shed light on what happened to the beloved 49-year-old doctor and father of 7 after he worked a night shift at Mercy Hospital in Cassville. One of the most credible tips came from a woman who said she saw someone matching Forsythe's description in Cassville South Park, near where the police discovered his missing vehicle, according to his sibling. On March 21st, around 12:15 p.m., John's car was discovered at the Cassville Aquatic Center. Not March, May. May. No article, May. Okay, Richard stated that his brother's phone, keys, wallet, and cash were discovered in the car. When Forsythe went missing, he was wearing a black button-down shirt with white long sleeves and grey jeans, and the tipster claims she saw someone wearing that exact outfit at the hiking trail south of the aquatic center at 12:30 p.m. Richard stated that the woman stated that the man she saw appeared to be walking quickly. The area had been thoroughly searched, but no trace of the doctor could be found after his car was discovered in a parking lot less than a mile from the hospital. Another hot tip came in about a possible sighting at the Roaring River Hatchery, a popular tourist destination in Roaring River State Park about 8 miles south of the aquatic center. A witness said he saw the doctor at the nature trail at around 11:15 a.m., about an hour before his car was spotted at the aquatic center. Investigators are looking to see if the hatchery has any footage of Forsythe from that morning, according to Richard. The final tip came from the parking lot of the aquatic center, where a woman claimed to have seen a blue van with tinted windows driving back and forth around the area where police discovered Forsythe's car. So these are all very important things just to keep in mind, right? Teresa, that's what I asked myself. Who had the life insurance policy? What kind of life insurance did he have? He was very wealthy. The van was spotted after security footage from the aquatic center showed Forsythe's Infiniti Sedan pulling into the parking lot before a white SUV pulled up alongside him. Richard said it was unclear whether the white SUV was involved in his brother's disappearance, noting that the footage from the parking lot appeared untrustworthy and couldn't tell if Forsythe traveled back and forth from the lot. We're all concerned, but we're also grateful for all the support and information about John, Richard said. The outpouring of support has been overwhelming. He described his brother as a loving and generous man who loved mathematics and had whiteboards all over his house with coding lines and ideas. After Forsythe made his fortune on Bitcoin, the two brothers founded their own cryptocurrency company called OnFo in 2019 to assist those in developing countries in breaking into the then booming market. Richard lamented that the company would most likely fail without his brother. Okay, so we're going to go back to my presentation now. I just wanted you to have just a little bit more information so that it kind of we're trying to make sense of it. But there's still going to be so much information. So consider this episode 1 of this case, I can imagine. Although Richard, his brother, said that the police are saying this could take a very long time. It's a very complex investigation. So, yes, one more time. He worked at the Mercury Hospital. His RV was parked at this hospital. And I'm not sure where the car would normally be parked, if it would be close to or next to it or what. And his sedan, Infiniti Sedan, was found near this Cassville Aquatic Center. And see, those 2 tips that came in talk about him walking around like a trail around here. And that's why I guess they're looking at the Cassville Greenway trailhead. So somewhere in this area, witnesses are saying they think they spotted him. And there's a blue van also with tinted windows. And then there's also this white SUV. And somehow, for some reason, his body ends up here at this Lost Bridge South Park, which is 28 miles or 40 minutes away. So that's interesting. Now, let's go back to the presentation here. I've also got some video clips and things to show you. So now, does it make sense? Okay, we go. 49-year-old father of 8, worked in an emergency room at Mercy Hospital in Cassville, Missouri for 15 years. A crypto entrepreneur with his brother Richard. Company OnFo he'd been involved in cryptocurrency since 2010. In 2020, Forbes named him a Bitcoin millionaire, which apparently is a no-no in the Bitcoin industry to, like, I don't know, be in the spotlight for how much money you made from Bitcoin. It's not like it's his fault. I think he was interviewed or named it. I just read somewhere that that's a no-no in the Bitcoin industry to like point out how much money you made from it. So I'm not sure if that made him a target in the Bitcoin industry or not. Again, I'm not saying he did it. I'm saying Forbes named him a Bitcoin millionaire. He went missing on May 21st, 2023 in Missouri, and his body was found in Arkansas. And his brother said he wouldn't miss a shift even if his eyeballs were hanging out of their sockets. That was an immediate red flag. Okay, so we continue on. Thank you all for being here. He last texted his new fiancé at approximately 7 a.m. when he finished his morning shift, right, on May 21st after finishing his morning shift at the hospital. He got engaged 3 days prior to going missing after just finalizing his divorce from his first wife. An uncontested divorce settlement was issued on May 11th, 2023, and his ex was awarded $19,000 per month in alimony and child support. Surveillance footage showed him walking to his luxury RV, where he stayed in the hospital parking lot during his shifts. He was last seen wearing a black shirt, fitted grey-blue pants or jeans. His brother said his car, now the Infiniti Sedan, was seen at 7:12 a.m. in the area where it was found abandoned. A white SUV in the area was there 3 minutes later. It appeared that someone who looked like John got out of his vehicle, walked around for a bit, and left. Okay. Let's just see what Micah says. It's dangerous to reveal your Bitcoin amount because you are your own vault. You open yourself to extortion and attack. And that alone could be possibly one of the reasons why there's all these suspicious Bitcoin murders lately, right? Or suspicious deaths, as they say. There's a lot of Bitcoin billionaires. This one was named a Bitcoin millionaire. But a lot of Bitcoin billionaires have died very suspiciously, especially since like the second half of last year. It's quite a thing. Okay. So this is a picture of how his Infiniti Sedan was parked there near that Cassville Aquatic Center. And just left like that. His wallet, driver's license, credit cards, passport, checkbook, work briefcase, car keys, and RV keys were in this vehicle. Okay. Then, several cell phones were found in his RV. His brother said 5 or 6 phones in total. His brother said he wasn't aware of these phones. That doesn't make sense to him. And he also said that there was one phone in that sedan. But he's like 2 usual phones that they know about, they were in the RV. So that would mean, if we do the math, if one phone, like one other phone they didn't know about, is in the sedan, the 2 known phones, because he's an ER guy, he needs to have the 2 phones, right, are in the RV. Then there must certainly be then 2 or 3 more phones in that RV, which is quite odd too. His body was found by a kayaker in Beaver Lake, Arkansas, 38 minutes south from where he was last seen. It appeared that he had a gunshot wound. His brother said he had no guns. Okay, and this is all information we're getting from his brother. The police have not said anything that I can find officially yet. I'm pretty sure they're waiting for official identification. The Benton County Sheriff's Department is investigating this case with the help of the Cassville Police Department. His brother said that there were many times when he felt in danger, when John said that he felt in danger. Now listen to this one. The more I went into this case, I'm like, sorry, and then what? He was kidnapped. He said that John was kidnapped in 2022. It was cold. He was zip-tied. He was made to feel very unsafe and taken on a car ride with some people to a bridge, and he was threatened, Richard said. He did not file a police report because he believed he was in continued danger. But he said in the interview with Pascal that he sorted it out and he didn't believe he was in danger anymore. But my question is, if he was like zip-tied, what he said in that interview with Pascal was he he arrived at one of their friends' houses with the zip ties and freezing and all that. But then my question is, who dropped him off there at the friend's house? You can't drive with the zip ties, right? What is that all about? Even that. And Richard describes this as low-hanging fruit. It's just like he thinks it's, you know, people are using it as an exciting part of the story. Like, oh, okay, yeah, look at that, look at that. But to me, it's pretty interesting to think, damn, you were like kidnapped and you felt so unsafe and you thought people's lives would be in danger that you didn't want to report this to the police. That's very interesting, right? So, this is what he said. In February of 2022, his brother reiterates this is second-hand information. He said he was put into a car and taken for a ride against his will, zip-tied at the wrist, taken to a bridge and threatened. He settled the matter for the time being and was released. He said that the information could put other people in danger. He said it was no longer an issue because he had dealt with it. It was not initially reported to the police because they were worried it would put people in danger. That's pretty sus. I saw on News Nation, Marnie, I love Marnie. Marnie had interviewed an FBI agent, an attorney. I just remember seeing FBI. Okay, but he said, interesting. This doctor had an alter ego going on or something's going on, like, you know, and he's saying it, not again to victim blame, just to be like, what was really happening here? There's some sus stuff going on here. Some shady business deals or something. I don't know what's quite happening here, but it's very, very sus. And I look forward to seeing results in this case because what is going on here? His brother last saw him on Wednesday, May 17th for dinner. He says that John clarified with his accountant. I find the timing of everything quite interesting as well. Okay, so his brother said that John clarified with his accountant that his brother should act in his place. And he did this the Friday before he went missing, and it was if he were not available. That's all very interesting. His brother said he did not sign over control over all his finances, only his finances concerning their joint venture. And then he said he made sure that his accountant would not have any issues with me going in there and acting on his behalf. At the dinner on May 17th, 2023, his brother said he was tender with his family, telling them how much he appreciated them, and he'd apparently also told some co-workers that. On Tuesday, May 30th, 2023, the police told John's family that he was found deceased. He was found in the lake with an apparent gunshot wound. The formal autopsy is still being conducted. He had no connections with Arkansas and was not outdoorsy. Very interesting. Tina says Bitcoin Mafia. Gloria says, something is rotten in Smoky Town. Yeah. So, formal identification is still pending. So that and confirmation of, well, did he have a gunshot wound? There's no suspect in this case at this time. The investigation's ongoing. So, we'll have to see. Yes, okay. Okay, Crime Spy says, I'm an accountant and hello to Crime Spies. I'm an accountant and accountants do not draw up POA. Lawyers do. Accountants would never pose that. Well, that's interesting. He said he didn't have any prior relationship with this accountant, and he definitely said accountant because I listened to it like 4 times. So his brother said that John clarified with his accountant that his brother should act in his place if he were not available. And his brother said he didn't sign over control over all his finances, only the ones concerning their joint venture. He made sure that his accountant would not have any issues with me going in there and acting on his behalf. Very interesting. Okay, and let's just see what else we got here. He said, we reject the notion of him taking his own life because of the context of his life. He had a ticket for a flight to go and see his kids on the Monday, which would have been Memorial Day, right? On the Monday. So he disappeared on the Sunday. On the Monday, he was supposed to go and fly and go see his kids. Richard says that the police have warned that this investigation could take a really long time. Arkansas police is treating this as a homicide. So we haven't heard that from anyone else. but he says the brother of John, who was found deceased, says Arkansas police is treating this as a homicide, and Missouri State Police is still investigating this as a missing persons case. So he said parallel investigations are currently happening, and that Missouri State Police, they want to figure out, well, how did he go missing in the first place? Like, why is his car there, and how did he end up there? So there's that. He said that interstate or abduction is a possibility, and this potentially implies FBI involvement. And he said massive investigations. This is now massive investigations, and they're putting a lot of resources into this, which no doubt I'm sure they will, right? Yeah, I'm hearing what you guys are saying here. Black Widow says, so that's why he had his passport. Oh yeah, maybe for the flight. I wonder where he was going to visit the kids. You know? Interesting, interesting. Sheila says his brother was his business partner. Of course, he knows a lot. Okay, so that's what I have so far in this case. Now, let's look at some video clips. I just want to see what else I have for you. We've done Maptime. I think, I'm going to show you some video clips in a moment. I just quickly want to do this. This article is a Bitcoin. It's on Forbes.com, and they say, during the previous 2 Bitcoin halvings, countless millionaires were created. J.R. Forsyth, the founder of OnFo, was one of them. He was studying mathematics as an undergraduate and was exposed to Bitcoin and digital ledger technology. So his brother did say he was a brilliant mathematician. Forsyth says, it became obvious to me that math-based currencies like Bitcoin would eventually supplant sovereign notes. I mined Bitcoin and Litecoin very early on and held on to them. The massive appreciation of those assets allowed me to invest in other cryptocurrency technology, which ultimately led to the development of OnFo, a platform that helps people earn money through network mining. Okay, and if we look at the site, this is OnFo, the company that him and his brother had together. What is OnFo? OnFo sets you free from the limits of banks and traditional currency. Okay, I just wanted to show you, right? And then, what else do I have here? There is a Facebook group, by the way, Missing Person Find Dr. John Forsyth 2023. So I've been following along here as well. They say, hey all, thanks for the amazing support. This is our newest article. We have a few more coming up soon. Please share. And that, I've got a whole bunch of information from all these latest articles to put into that presentation for you. And then, I just want to see, I've shown you all of that, yes. Oh yeah, his sister, Tiffany, said, my brother has now been missing for a week. I'm grieving, I'm afraid, it feels like the world is tipped into sheer chaos. If anyone has any information, please email findjohn2023@gmail.com. I've often felt like Johnny and I are 2 sides of the same coin. Our lives have led us in very different directions, but in the last couple of years, we've been bonding over our intense desire to understand the mysteries of the universe, and I've treasured those conversations like precious jewels. I rarely meet anyone I could toss around ideas with like he can. Now he's disappeared, seemingly into thin air. We have so much more to talk about. I'm so afraid he's just gone. Please don't let this be how this ends. The hole that will leave in my life will be empty forever. Please help us find him. Oh man. So yeah, the family only found out on Tuesday night, like literally this Tuesday. For me, it's Thursday, right? Yeah, it's Thursday. I'm checking because it's already 10:05 for me. So it's almost Friday for me, but Thursday, and only on Tuesday night did they find this out, right? Whew, okay, so we've got that. Now let's look at some video clips. Okay, so I've got it. Let me make myself bigger for a second. Okay.
A lot of oddities about his disappearance.
This is his brother, Richard, okay?
Oddities about his disappearance, and police kind of agreed after investigation that the circumstances are pretty suspicious. Some of my family members have gone down to Cassville, and also friends, and they've gone looking around the area where he was. There has been a lot of searching around the hospital as well.
Dr. Forsythe has a reputation of being good to others, at work and outside of it.
He has given a lot of his free time to helping people. I've been through a lot of health issues in this last year, and he's been like a guardian angel to me, and I know to many others. The state police showed up unannounced, and they came in and had my father sit down, and they told him the news that my brother had been found, that his...
I just want to say as well, from the Maptime we did, where his body was found, it was actually found floating in the water with an apparent gunshot wound. In case you didn't know, right? Okay.
His body had been found in northwest Arkansas in Beaver Lake, and he was deceased.
Police said he'd been shot.
He had no guns. I talked to him about that. He didn't want to have a gun.
The brother of Dr. Forsyth says Arkansas authorities informed him this afternoon they're approaching this as a homicide investigation.
At this point, it looks like he was abducted and killed and thrown into a lake. Just looking at it from my point of view, that's what it seems like.
He says closure can't begin until they have more answers.
We need to get to the bottom of this. We need to find out what happened. We're not satisfied with just that he was found. This kind of barbaric behavior has to be uncovered. This has to be dealt with. The community support has been overwhelming, and we are so grateful for everyone who has supported us. The outpouring of love, the messages of love and affection and concern and devastation are very reflective of the kind of person he was. I don't know why my brother is missing. I don't know why he would leave behind his wallet, his passport, his checkbook, his keys, and an unlocked car.
Richard Forsyth is working to find his brother.
So many plans half finished. Doesn't make sense.
While also shutting down rumors swirling online as Dr. Forsyth's disappearance gains national attention.
We've gathered together a great deal of data. Sorting through what is potentially relevant or even factual has been challenging.
Some people following the case have latched on to a recent court order requiring Forsyth to pay nearly $20,000 a month in child support and alimony as a possible motive to disappear.
I talked to a lot of people who ought to know, and they said that amount of money was not a concern.
There's also rumors about a disgruntled business associate the Forsyth brothers encountered while running their cryptocurrency company.
And he expressed some extreme emotions towards us, that he would get revenge. And ultimately his campaign failed, and we didn't hear from him again. I don't see that being enough of a motivation for someone to cross the Atlantic and cause trouble.
Both Richard...
That was an interesting one. Did you guys hear it? That was pretty interesting, right? Like, wait, what? So he's talking there about some person overseas wanting revenge on them, but he doesn't think that he would be motivated enough to fly all the way to America to do something to his brother. But I'm like, damn. Between this kidnapping, so there's a lot of things that his brothers mentioned as possibilities, right? There's the white SUV. There's this overseas person who wants revenge on them. There's the 2022 kidnapping, which wasn't reported to the police. What else is there? It's quite a few things that I'm like, oh my word. Okay, so I just want to play that one. I just want to go back a little bit. Just listen to that one again. Right here.
Relevant or even factual has been challenging.
Some people following the case have latched on to a recent court order requiring Forsyth to pay nearly $20,000 a month in child support and alimony as a possible motive to disappear.
I talked to a lot of people who ought to know, and they said that amount of money was not a concern.
There's also rumors about a disgruntled business associate the Forsyth brothers encountered while running their cryptocurrency company.
And he expressed some extreme emotions towards us, that he would get revenge. And ultimately his campaign failed, and we didn't hear from him again. I don't see that being enough of a motivation for someone to cross the Atlantic and cause trouble.
Both Richard...
So some disgruntled business person from overseas wanted revenge, had extreme emotions expressed. But Richard doesn't think it's enough motivation to fly all the way across the Atlantic and do something. So there's a disgruntled businessman from overseas. Then there's also this kidnapping that could have happened in 2022 in February, and a whole bunch of sus people that were upset. Then there's like all these phones found in the RV and all kinds of stuff. It's like, oh my word. What? Okay, let's continue.
And the Highway Patrol tell me they have no updates on the investigation. The family tells Color 10 they have seen security footage that shows who they believe is John in another car around 7:15 on the day he went missing from a park in Cassville.
We have the white vehicle leaving about 3 minutes after that. And then 10 to 15 minutes after that, someone looking quite a bit like my brother, the image is a bit blurry, exiting his car. The clothing he was wearing fits his last known description. Walking around a bit and then walking away.
He says the family is still holding out hope.
We're all very...
Did you hear that? Okay, you gotta listen carefully, because when you go listen to Pascal's episode, again, I'm not trying to wave a red flag at anyone. I'm listening to the info and I'm like, what? Especially when there's a little bit of inconsistencies all over the place. With the only person talking about the case, right? I'm like, I'm just trying to make sense of the facts. Like, what is the fact? Because there, he said, the SUV leaves, then his brother gets out the car, walks around a bit and leaves, right? When he was on Pascal's show, and one can be nervous on live streams and all that, I understand, okay? So, I generally give people the benefit of the doubt. You know that about me. When he was on the show, he didn't correct Pascal when Pascal said, oh, so he wasn't forced into the vehicle, he got into the vehicle and they left. So it was implied as if he got into this white SUV. But in no other interview does he say he got into the white SUV, you know what I mean? Like, it's as if this SUV is driving around and then leaving, which we don't even know. Did it park next to him? Was there an interaction? Did anything happen? What is the SUV doing there anyway? Because what a random area. We'll go back to the maps, okay? And then we'll put the little Google man there as far as we can, because you can't drive all the way, you guys. It stops after a certain point. But we'll just look around there a little bit and see and be like, what? Like, what a random area for a white SUV to be there. Then there's some other witness when he was still missing saying that there was a blue van with tinted windows driving around. I mean, there's just a lot of things. There's a lot of red flags over here. Like, so many of them. Anyway, so I think I went back a little bit. Let's listen again.
Very disturbed by these events.
Wait. We go back again.
Security footage that shows who they believe is John in another car around 7:15 on the day he went missing from a park in Cassville.
We have the white vehicle leaving about 3 minutes after that. And then 10 to 15 minutes after that, someone...
Important. Then you're going to listen to the Pascal interview as your homework. I'm giving you some Grizzly homework. The timeline shifts a little there. He literally just said it. 10 to 15 minutes after the SUV leaves, then, look.
Looking quite a bit like my brother, the image is a bit blurry. Exiting his car, the clothing he was wearing fits his last known description. Walking around a bit and then walking away.
He says the family is still holding out hope.
We're all very disturbed by these events, and some families come in from out of town. We've been trying to support each other. The place where he left his car, you can see from the photos, a pretty odd place to leave a car. That's kind of a public refuse area. And he left it hidden behind, partially obscured by a gate, depending on how you look at it. Mm-hmm. The security camera of that area records him arriving at 7:12 a.m. and then being met by a white SUV 3 minutes later. The white SUV departs about 3 minutes after that. And then a person matching his description, but fairly blurry because it's taken at a distance. It appears to be him getting out of his car, walking around a bit, and then leaving.
Okay, so that's what we got the video clips there. Interesting, right? Okay. Ted Green says, did the business go to the brother? I don't know. The brother just says he last saw him on the Wednesday, right? Which was May 17th. Then on the Friday, he says his brother went to see his accountant. So John, the person who died, went to see his accountant to clarify that if his brother came in acting on his behalf, that would be okay. Okay. And he said only for the joint venture they had. But I thought then if they had this joint venture, wouldn't he already be part of it? It's just like, oh man, I'm just trying to make sense of it. And yeah. You guys are seeing some red flags. Okay. Let's try that Maptime one again. Let's just hope it doesn't double play. Let's just see. Okay. Miss Wales says, who the hell doesn't report a kidnapping? I know, right? And it sounded so weird. It's also interesting to me, that his brother says the very last person that he texted, that John had texted, was his new fiancé just after 7. Because there's so many phones. So how do you know? How do you know that it's the last person he texted? Maybe from the known phones saying, I'll see you a little bit later. But if there's like 5 or 6 phones, did they check all of them? And did the police not take that? You know what I mean? Like, it's just interesting. The little bits we do know is very interesting. Okay, let me just put this on again. All right, so we'll do this. Thank you, Julie, for sending me an email. I see Julie was speculating this could be his RV here. I mean, it could be parked over here. If he's allowed to do that, yes. It could be. That could literally be his RV. But we don't know that. We're just checking. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, so if we look here at the hospital, there's not much to look at here beyond him working here many hours a week, working hard. And then what's so odd is, yes, his brother said he saw him. So that's the thing. Okay. Let's go with Julie's theory of this being his RV. If surveillance catches him walking towards that will make sense to me if there's no cameras here. Meaning, maybe he parked his Infiniti Sedan here too, and now we're just speculating, okay? So he was walking towards here, said to his new fiancé that he just got engaged to 3 days before, I'll see you in a bit. And then what? I would love to know if any surveillance then saw his Infiniti Sedan leaving. But what happens next is his Infiniti Sedan is spotted near this Cassville Aquatic Center. So little Google man, please can you join us here, sir? Look, he says no. He's not going to sit there. Go there, please. Okay. So now we're here at the Cassville Aquatic Center, which you guys know I love swimming, so sounds nice to me. Okay, so if we look around here, I was looking around here based on all the friggin' news clips and everything. I'm like, where? But it's actually down here. And the Google man won't let us go down there. You see, it just keeps on bouncing back. But if we were to go here a little bit and zoom in, you can slightly see, as we saw in the picture, those little colorful poles. So it's down this road here. Down this road? Just randomly parked kind of near the end of that road. There's nothing really going on here, you know? So his Infiniti Sedan is found down there, but then with his driver's license, his wallet, passport, checkbook, work briefcase, and a phone. And a phone is there. Very interesting. But his own phones, the ones people know him to have, the ones he would normally text his family from, they're in the RV, and the RV's unlocked. At the hospital, unlocked. You know? Damn. Amy Voltaire, welcome to membership. Hey, David, nice to see you. David Nolewaka. Oh, no, I'm probably not going to say it right. Nolewaka. Welcome. Yeah, Stefan says, buckle up. That's true, Crime Junkie. Stefan says, buckle up, G's driving. Buckle up, everybody. We're driving now. So there's not much going on here. There's this park here. And yeah, so the sedan is found here. Also, with its car keys, the RV's keys as well. So think about that. The RV is found unlocked with all the valuables inside. But the keys are not with the RV. So it's almost as if he just got to the RV and started unlocking it. And then was taken or something. I don't know what else to make of it. So hectic. Roxy, thank you for being a member for a month already. Okay, so that's where that is. And then, what's so odd is there's these witnesses when he was missing that said they saw someone who looked just like him, just like the description, looked like that's who they thought they saw around this trail, this hiking trail, well, the trailhead. That's interesting too. And then a week later, 21st to the 30th, 9 days later, his body is found here, floating. His brother said floating, and with what appeared to be a gunshot wound. Now, here's more homework. I have looked at every police page, every police that they've mentioned here. Missouri and Arkansas and Cassville. And I can't find like an official press release. But when Richard Forsyth spoke to Pascal, and in other interviews he mentioned, but especially it was on the Pascal interview, yes, he said the police put out a press release to say that they've found a body with what appears to be a gunshot wound, but they're still doing the formal autopsy. I can't find that. I can't find it. I looked at all the police ones on Facebook and everywhere I could. I just can't find that they said that. But we do know, well, from what his brother's telling us, that a body was found. He says, Richard said, floating. And across, all the articles I've read, all the media interviews I've seen, they say across from the ramp near this Lost Bridge South Park. So can we go there? The Google man likes it here. Okay, so around here. Damn, okay. We're going to drive around here. It was in Beaver Lake, you guys. In Arkansas. They actually got it wrong initially on some of the interviews, and then I saw that people said they made a correction to how far it was. Pernille says, question, no cameras where his car was found, or did you already address this? That was, well, that was a very low quality surveillance camera that caught him, according to what his brother said, right? Getting out of his vehicle and walking around a bit and then leaving. So there's a camera somewhere around where his car was found, but apparently it's from very far, and the footage is not great quality to the point where you can't really see if it definitely is John or not. David says, I live 20 minutes from there. Oh my word. 20 minutes, okay. So if this is the ramp, which I'm not sure if it is, but they said across from the ramp, his body was found across from the ramp, in an area across from the ramp. I'm assuming this way then, but I am just assuming, we don't know. And his body was found by a kayaker, so that's always scary, right? Oh my word, just like an early morning kayak, and then like, I think that's like a worse fear actually, like actually coming across a body like that. Oh my word. No. Gizzy Sue, thank you for being a member for 11 months. Janet says, this seems like a dump site and not a crime scene. It does, right? Oh man, this case is so scary. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if it's like a shady Bitcoin business contact, or if it's something like, I haven't heard anything about drugs, but if it's like a drug deal gone wrong, or is it like, I don't know, who could be angry in the Bitcoin world, or is it someone he knows, or what is it? I just don't know. So, yes, this is the area. Now we've done an extensive map time. I'll link this map time in the description box when I do the timestamps as well for you so that you can see it. But that's pretty much what we're looking at. And he has no connection to this area, in case you're wondering. Has he ever worked there? Does he know people they know? No one. They said he has no connection to this area. Sure. Okay. So that's what we have. Let's take this off. I just quickly want to see. Sorry, I know I'm tiny now. I just want to see if there's anything else that I've got for you. Oh yeah, it was just this article where they say crypto billionaires back-to-back deaths spark wild theories among the community. Many blame the deaths on the billionaires' past, while others suspected some form of foul play and even execution. So that's interesting too. I'll put this in the description box if you do want to check it out. Wild Mountain Time says, thanks for the map time, Grizzly. It's my pleasure. Yes. And it was, by the way, a luxury RV. So that's so crazy. If you look up a luxury RV, and that's just left unlocked with all the valuables inside, and then a whole bunch of phones that people didn't know about, it's so shady, it's so weird. Yeah, Raul says, apparently the perps had a boat. I was wondering about that. Okay, so I'm not going to dive. This could be, I mean, it's very interesting, but I'm going to rather put this in the description box if you do want to read it. They just say that they say the deaths may be a cause of concern, but the crypto ecosystem is known for its fascination with conspiracy theories. So they're just saying there's a lot of crypto billionaires that are dying suspiciously lately, and I mean, it could be, but let's not go too far. There's already too many questions in this case. Yes. So if we could actually recap from here if you want to. This is also what I'm wondering. Olivia says, where's the fiancé and the ex-wife and the children? I'm not sure. And they say they're not named, right? They're not named. So a Missouri doctor has been reported missing after he failed to turn up for work and his car was found abandoned in a park in the Ozarks, is what they say. In the Ozarks. Well, I'm just going to make it nice for you. Just hold on. That's a little bit too small. Sorry about that. We like to fiddle with it for you. Okay. His friends and family soon raised the alarm and his car was located abandoned in Cassville Aquatic Center Park, less than a mile from the hospital. The doors were found unlocked with the keys inside, police said. Forsyth was last seen at his trailer near the hospital at 7 a.m. on Sunday after leaving the clinic. Shame. And he worked so hard. I don't know. But that business, as the FBI, I think it's an FBI agent or former FBI agent on News Nation said, you must go check out that interview. It's with Marnie, right? He said, well, this doctor had an alter ego from what he's seeing, because he's like, there's the nerdy mathematician, conscientious philanthropist, but then there's also like, it sounds like if there's this kidnapping and the Bitcoin thing and all this, there could be some shady business deals going on that we just don't know about. Hey, Heinemann, thank you for being a member for 4 months. So I'm just showing you some pictures. We already went over these pictures as well. Authorities found 2 cell phones in his trailer, but search dogs and heat signature drones brought up no evidence in the surrounding area. They did an extensive search around the area as well. They couldn't find anything. And his brother said, so there's 2 cell phones in this luxury RV, but his brother said there were at least 2 or 3 other phones in the RV and 1 phone in the sedan. See, the police aren't mentioning that. Tiffany Andelin, Forsythe's sister, pleaded for anyone with information to contact the police or her family. My brother's missing. If anyone knows anything, please contact us. I'm so worried. I'm a mess. That's all I could say right now, she wrote on Facebook. She added that her brother had been a doctor in the Aurora area for many years and would hopefully be recognizable to many in the local community. By the way, small town too. They said the population around there is like Cassville. It's like 3,100, right? We don't know, Liz. Is it definitely his body? No. His brother is speaking about it as if it definitely is, but it isn't. It's still formal identification, according to the police, still needs to take place, right? I think that's why the police haven't said much, because they're still busy with the autopsy. The medical examiner, of course. Okay, so she added that her brother, yes, had been a doctor. Okay, Forsythe's brother, whose name was not given, told KLR that this is very unusual for him. This is a punctual man who's never missed a day of work in his life, not even for being sick. He described the finding of his brother's car by Highway Patrol as in a very odd location. He's a very good, generous, kind, and patient man. He is a person admired by a lot of people. He's a great doctor who works very hard, who's given lots of his free time to helping people. He added, he's like a guardian angel to me. Okay. If you do have any information, there's many police departments involved here, right? And they also do. The family has findjohn2023@gmail.com. Janet, we don't know when the autopsy will be out. So, yep, and here's the hospital. Forsyth lived in a trailer near the hospital and was last seen there at 7 a.m. on Sunday. And this was the missing person flyer. I'd been following this on Twitter for a few days. I was looking at, well, what is happening in this case? It started getting really interesting. Like, sorry, what? His fiancé also called his behavior odd and said she hasn't heard from him. Police say they do not suspect that there is any threat to the public at this time. The missing doctor has been described as 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing 180 pounds, and was last seen wearing a black shirt with blue-gray pants. Okay, so that's what we have. And then the last thing, I'll just put this here. I'm going to put this in the description box for you. There's Pascal. What's up, Pascal? Pascal, if you don't know him, ThePascalShow, he's been on this show quite a few times. Okay, wait, let's go forward here, that you can see them both. So go and check out this interview, which I'm going to be linking in my description box. That is your homework for today. Go watch that interview. I'll actually link all the interviews, even the ones that I had, of course, in the clips, in the description box when I do all the timestamps. And then come back and leave a comment and let me know what you think. But we just have to wait for more information. I really hope that there will be a press conference soon, that there will be some closure, some information, right? Because it just sounds really scary. Dandelion says, I'm 32 minutes behind. They dropped him off at his friend's house after being kidnapped? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, wait, who dropped him off? How did he get there? Why was he zip tied? He was freezing and zip tied, but like, okay. But then he needed a hot shower and a meal. That's what his brother described. I'm like, how did he get there? Could he have driven? But he was zip tied at the wrist. So I don't know about that. And what is all of that? And did it really happen? Because there's no police reports for it. And how do we know it even really happened? You know? Oh, man. Okay. Janice says, I found you through him. That's nice. That's awesome. Okay. Newman says, 80 hours a week. That's crazy. Who knows? Yes, the autopsy is still pending. Yes. Okay. So let me make myself bigger again. Normal size. Hello. So, thank you so much for following the case with me. This is only the beginning. I would assume there would be a press conference, maybe a press release or something soon. Information from the police. It's all very, very interesting. And I can't believe that a doctor, entrepreneur, mathematician, someone who's working 80 hours a week, an entrepreneur in Bitcoin, right, can just go missing after a morning shift, RV unlocked, all the valuables inside, car found elsewhere, body found elsewhere. That's so hectic. That's almost like staging. You know what I mean? Like there's the RV, there's the car, there's the body. And what? Anyway. Yes, so Rochelle says this will be a very interesting outcome. Who done it? Very much so. I didn't even say... Welcome to all my moderators. If you see moderators, they've got their little wrench, right? You see the next to their name? They're moderators. Thank you, moderators, for everything you do. Thank you to all my patrons for all your support. And to all my members as well. If you haven't yet subscribed, we just actually hit a new milestone today. We're now at 149,000 subscribers, which is all very exciting. So make sure you are subscribed. Hit that bell with the all selected so you get all the notifications if you want to not miss out. And if you really don't want to miss out, Patreon's a good place to be because you get all the notifications there in your inbox and on the app if you have the app as well. So go check out the interview that Pascal had with Richard Forsyth. It's very interesting. There's some little details and more information, which I had put in my summary for you as well. But go check it out. And I'll just keep on looking at more interviews, more articles. I'll bring you news. If there's any news in this case, I will let you know because I have been keeping a close eye on it. And I'm keeping a close eye on it because I'm like, whoa, 5 phones. Why? What happened to him? How does he end up there? And then he was floating. So that means... I think, based on my limited knowledge of how that works, I think that would mean he was possibly dumped out there sooner, maybe on the day he disappeared or soon after, because he's already like floating. I don't know, man. Yes. Okay. So I will see you all again very soon. Thank you so much. Like, share, hashtag John Forsyth would be a good one, and Grizzly True Crime as well. And thank you everyone for the stickers, for all your support. See you very soon. Bye.